Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome back. All right. So, how we been the last couple weeks, huh? I got some feedback from the full moon reading that we did last time, and it seems that a lot of folks have had a lot of experience around this last full moon, a lot of shift, a lot of changes. So it'll be really interesting to see what the tarot has to say about this new moon in Aries. Um, I find it very interesting that there's a lot of shift, and it does seem like um, slowly but surely we're getting to a place of clarity. And Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. So it definitely has a focus on the self, which in this particular case, I think is actually a good thing. There's a lot of influences out there that are just pulling our attention to, over here to be afraid of this or to be worried about this. And, like there's so much coming at us externally that it can be really grounding to just focus on the self, be like, okay, what is true for me and my circumstances and my life right here, right now? And Aries is at 11 degrees, or I'm sorry, the new moon is at 11 degrees in Aries. And 11 is the number of is a master number. And so, and number 11 is a master number, and it is also a number that is very much um, aware and conscious and concerned about the collective. So I think there's very much uh, this lesson that when we take care of ourselves and we are true to ourselves, we nourish ourselves, that it actually does have a ripple effect to benefit the collective. What's also very interesting is we have a conjunction with Aries and the Sun, both in 11 degrees, and then they're like flanked on each side by Chiron, which is the wounded healer, and Mercury. All of them are in Aries, and Chiron is at 12 degrees in Aries, and Mercury is at 9 degrees in Aries. And I find it very interesting with Chiron being the wounded healer, meaning that we now have more awareness around what we need to heal individually. And Mercury is there to say, give us the ability to speak our truth, ask for what we need, and to get information also that we need um, in order to bring that healing to full fruition. All right, let's get started with the tarot. So just join me in setting this intention. What is it that we need to know to use for the greatest benefit for our highest good? This energy of the new moon in Aries, April 1st, 2022. Very first card that comes out is the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is about strategizing, making plans, and taking stock. So the figure in the Two of Wands has not yet left for his journey yet. He's planning, he's packing, and he's deciding what the new journey is. And so the next card that comes up, which is the Fool reversed, is also an indication that it's not time yet to get on the boat, not time yet perhaps to take action, but it is time to start taking stock of what's working for us, what's not working for us, And I think also with the Three of Swords reverse being the third card that comes up, Three of Swords is, among other things, about self forgiveness and grace and letting go. Um, I always look at this as like when this card is reversed, it's time for these swords to fall out of the heart. It's time to heal the wounds. And I definitely think the Three of Swords reversed is very much echoing the energy of Chiron conjuncting this new moon, the wounded healer. There's this saying among practitioners and healers that you heal is practitioner heal thyself. And I think that this is true for everybody, though, that first we heal ourselves. And then from that healing process, we have the wisdom to be able to assist and give resource to others that may be working through something that might be similar. Not in a way of being preachy or giving advice, but being able to empathize and align with, I know that journey, or I'm familiar with that the energy of that kind of challenge because you've worked through it yourself. So right now, we are in an inner journey. We're in a spiritual journey right now. We're spiritually taking stock. And this also aligns with the North Node being at 24 degrees in Taurus and the South Node of what's happening in the heavens right now at 24 degrees in Scorpio. So Taurus has the ability to make manifest into the three-dimensional realm. It's an earth element. It's very much concerned with health and home and material comfort and safety and security. And then you have Scorpio on the polar opposite end here that is a very much more focused on the spiritual realms and other dimensions of consciousness and death and rebirth. And Scorpio is a very shamanic kind of energy. So here, what I see here, also reflected in the tarot, is that our spiritual lessons and what it is that we are learning. And perhaps we already, I mean, if the Two of Wands is here, it means that we're already in a place to be able to take a look in the rearview mirror, not from a place of ruminating or from a place of, um, regret, resentment, anything like that, but just from a place of awareness and take stock in where have we been? We're taking stock of our spiritual journey. And I have the imagination that this taking stock will probably go back at least a couple of years, if not more. We have a lot of lessons that we've culminated. And now we can take those lessons, and Taurus gives us the ability to be able to bring those lessons in and express those lessons as them changing our physical life. So, whatever it is that is transmuting and is alchemizing, and whatever it is that we are healing from the past, is going to translate as changing our physical life, or has the opportunity to. And the new moon is a time in which the moon, she draws in energy to replenish. And then as she grows in life, then when she's in light, she's at the full moon, she then releases that energy completely fully at the full moon. So the new moon is a great time to plant seeds. And then as that intention grows in light, then around the full moon may take more expression. So this is a really great new moon to be able to take a look at what seeds need to be planted. And we can now have that awareness of what seeds need to be planted because now we have clarity on where it is that we've been. We have clarity on what lessons we have already learned, and perhaps have clarity on what lessons and what healing is still in the process, and being graceful around giving ourselves time and space to be able to go through that process completely. But I just repeat, like, there may be some decisions that we might mean to take, but this is more about a time of preparation. Things are gestating, things are happening, but they're still under the surface, and that's okay. they're going to pop. They're going to flourish. So let's just pull. I want to pull one more card and see what will happen, or how do I want to ask this? By the time that the full moon is in her full expression, what will be advantageous for us to know or do? What will be most advantageous for us to know or do by the time the full moon comes about? Okay, so the Nine of Wands comes up. This is very much an Aries kind of card. This is about willpower, determination, and about boundaries. So by the time the full moon comes about, we may get really clear, especially around boundaries that need to be either restated, reinforced, or put into place to begin with. There may need to be some new boundaries that we put in place. Especially around those who are closest to us. So family members, this came up upside down. This has to do with family, but it doesn't have to be blood family. It could be spiritual family, close friends, people that we're close to. And this usually has to do around inheritance. When it's upside down, it may mean that we might have perspective either over a lost opportunity, or in what I'm seeing here is that it's really about some folks that we're close to, that there's an opportunity to create new boundaries, therefore create a new container for that relationship, that perhaps there's parameters within that relationship that just aren't working for us anymore. Perhaps there were certain permissions or certain ways that we interacted with these people that are close with us that at one point maybe did work, but they no longer work for us anymore. Perhaps we may notice that with Chiron, the wounded healer, that what created those dynamics within those relationships may have actually been coming from more of a wounded place versus a place that of conscious interaction. Because this is that interaction, that relationship, those boundaries are in relationship to conflict, the Seven of Wands, and the Ace of Swords, which again is about a lack of understanding in this particular case. So there may have been a lack of understanding, a lack of meeting of the minds. Perhaps there might be some back perspective on maybe some missed opportunities, or it's like, oh, that's too bad. Perhaps we might see that spiritually we may not be aligning with folks the way that we thought we were. And thus we create new dynamics within that relationship or those relationships that work better for us. So some of these decisions may be difficult. Three of Swords and 10 of Pentacles, 7 of Wands, like all of that is, it can be it is really deep and very transformative, and it can be uncomfortable. But at the end of the day, it's also telling us that it's all good. And at the end of the day, we are going to be so much freer and happier as a result of speaking. Mercury, remember, Mercury is in conjunction with this new moon. Mercury is giving us the ability to take this clarity on what it is that we need to heal, how to heal it, what it is that we need, our resources that we need, new dynamics that are needing to be put in place, new boundaries that are needing to be put in place. I think there's going to be a lot of clarity around this new moon, and it may create some difficult decisions that we need to make. But at the end of the day, we're going to be so happy that we're courageous enough to speak our truth and to make those decisions. So thank you all so much for joining me. And I can't wait to see you in a couple of weeks when we're going to take a look at the full moon. Take care. Bye.